How's it going, everybody? Let's talk about the Paramilitary 3 and how it's performed. So I typically go through a knife once a year, as you can see. Subsequent years, all the way up to 2013 is when I started doing this, or all the way down, I guess you could say. But I want to talk about the Paramilitary 3 because it has been my 2023 knife. And how has it performed in a law enforcement / military environment, especially with the pocket clip that is not that great. And we're going to discuss that, mainly everything about it, and to come to a conclusion, is it worth your money? So let's dive into it. All right, so of course, Paramilitary 3, not going to dive too much into heritage and all that kind of stuff, comes off the Paramilitary series. I originally started off with a Paramilitary 2 years ago in 2012. And I really enjoyed it, and I've always had my eye on the 3 because it is smaller, and this one is the lightweight edition. So, of course, coming from this, the Tenacious lightweight being 2022's knife, and then going back to Benchmades, all that kind of stuff, I wanted to get back in the saddle with Spyderco. Now, have I enjoyed this knife over the last, I would say, 9 months? Yes. This is a very good knife. I like the bevel on it. I like the delicate, or not delicate, but I like the sharp tip. It does come in handy. I have not broke it. I don't pry with it too much, but I have stuck this through drywall and other stuff like that. Of course, the typical Spyderco hole, and then you can also get very close up into the knife blade, which is I like, with all the little serrations here, which is very nice. And of course, the rear lock on the back spine rather than in the middle or underneath. I prefer it that way. So those are some of the highlights. Now, one of the things I do not like is the wire pocket clip that this thing comes with. I have lost this knife multiple times because of that pocket clip. It would bust off. And then luckily I found the pocket clip and I found the knife multiple times, at least 2 to 3 times, which I've just lucked out. And that screw is extremely hard to find, but somehow I've made it work. I upgraded this to the titanium one, and this one still I do not like. It still comes out of my pocket very often, and that's probably because of the lightweight options that these two have come out of the pocket. Not as much, the Tenacious didn't as much, but the Paramilitary 3, this is one knife that consistently slips out of my pocket all the time. Now, is that a pocket clip issue that I just didn't resolve? Is that the knife's fault? Technically, no. I just don't like the wire clip that it comes with. So if you are interested in purchasing this knife, I would recommend looking up other pocket clip designs to upgrade, just because it is not that great. Now, the Benchmade series, this is really lightweight too, but even with this pocket clip, I have found this one to be sufficient with no issues, along with the Osborne 940. This isn't even a deep pocket clip carry, but it's thicker and it retains its rigidity very well, and this holds it in. Now, it could be because these are slightly narrower knives. Of course, you see that blade stick way out, and these are extremely narrow. So when you put them in the pocket, they're taking up less surface area. It's very thin. When you have your pockets populated with other things, you know, myself, I have a decent amount of keys. Unfortunately, that's just how I go. So when I pull it out, this tends to catch more. Now, if you don't have that issue or don't think it's going to be an issue, then sure, yeah, this is a great knife. It's just, it is annoying that it sticks out here. It's not like a typical blade that is flat. Now, is that part of the design of Spyderco? Yes, absolutely. Take it for what it's worth. That's just my opinion on it, and I'm trying to give you my real world mindset with it. Is this a good knife for military and law enforcement? Yes, I would say so. It is one-handed actuated, or whatever. You can use it, close it up, which I like, is if my left hand's busy doing something, I can open this up, use it, and then put it away very easily. So it is pretty good for that. Lightweight. I like lighter weight knives in a way, just because they disappear in the pocket until I need them. That's just my opinion on it. Some folks like heavier knives, other stuff like that. For example, this is the Pacific Salt. I used this when I was doing law enforcement out on the ocean, and this thing did not rust. It's very nice, long blade. I swam, I dove with this. I used it all the time, and as you can see, it's been in salt water pretty much its entire life, and it's still good to go. I am contemplating going back to an H1 steel knife after this one. Haven't really made up my mind. But just to throw it into some context, as you see here, how big it is, I can give you some other references like a skeletal, as in how big it is. For scaling purposes, M1 Grand Clip, I guess you could see how big that is typically. I mean, whichever. I'm just comparing the size of, you know, how small or large of a knife it is. Here is a Benchmade Infidel. There you go, their size comparison. So, would I recommend the Paramilitary 3 through my use? Yes, I think it is a very nice knife. I enjoy pretty much everything about it except for the pocket clip, and it's honestly a little too lightweight and a little too, you know, non-balanced for my opinion. But that's just me. I think it's worth your money. So look into it. That's my recommendation. I'll probably throw up other photos and stuff like that of me utilizing it in operational environments just to show, hey, I am not just making this up. I really use this thing. I used all these tools, and this is just my opinion on it. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, would like to purchase some of these knives, I'll leave the links in the description box below. It does help out myself and this YouTube channel, because then I put the cents, a few cents that I make off of this knife back into the YouTube channel, so you see more gear, more stuff like that. So it kind of, you know, pays itself forward, I guess, if you really look at it, and it doesn't cost you anything. So is what it is. So if you like this stuff, like, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope y'all have a great day.